Ayla, welcome to my channel, Beotha Sunda. This week I'm doing a video called A Call to Action. Will you listen? Enjoy. Hi guys, Tuva here. This week I'm doing quite a weird one really. Something that's just really happened to me since I made my pact with the elves this year. It sort of come to my understanding that as witches, as those that practice the occult, light workers, are those that see and perceive that others don't. I came to the conclusion of, instead of not listening, listen to Mother Earth, listen to what's going on. As witches, we are in fact the caretakers of Mother Earth. We have the ability to understand what the earth is feeling, what the plants are feeling, what the animals are feeling, and as such we cannot walk in ignorance. I have always believed in there are no coincidences, there is always synchronicity, and if you have an open ear and an open eye, you will notice correspondences that are happening around you. Now things must be becoming really difficult for Mother Earth and for all the creatures that inhabit her. For we need now to be thinking about what we as witches can do to help. For we have an extra ability that the lay person does not have. Or they do have it, but they don't know how to tap into it. And I thought long and hard before doing this video, but I do believe that we owe it to mankind, to those that need help, that as witches we have to set a good example. And I don't mean we all have to become eco-warriors. That is not the point that I'm coming from. But what I do think is a good thing, and I want to pick this candle up while I'm talking, for the energy of the candle makes sense to me. And this is what I mean. As witches, things that don't mean nothing to others mean everything to us. Now, as caretakers of this planet, we need to be astute, and we also need to give ourselves a stock take to see where we line up with everything. Are we doing what we can to help the situation, or are we doing just as much to wreck what we have? A lot of people will probably be switching off the video now, and that is fine, but I wanted to put something out that will help you to make small changes that will have a big impact on what happens in our lives. For it's not only our lives, guys, it is the generations to come, and we believe in coming back. So how much more, even if we are selfish within, that we would want to make sure that we come back to a very good home. Just a thought. Very deep, you might say, but then life is very deep and death is very deep. I saw the other day a video about the plastic in the sea and what it is doing to all the sea life and the mammals that live around the sea. How some of them are trapped within the plastic. The plastic is being caught around them and is slowly killing them. That Some of them ingest the plastic and it tears them up inside. How did that plastic get into the sea in the first place? And these are questions we must ask ourselves, because this world is run by ones that control governments and those in power, those that have money. The money comes first. They do not think about the consequences. We had an example of that on the news where so many trees have been cut down that the animals are dying because of this, that there are only half the amount of trees left on the planet to what there was originally. Now we need these trees, guys, to breathe. We need them for the air. We need them for all sorts of reasons and cannot live without them. Another aspect would be the turtles. The coral has all but much died, and that is their staple food. They are in the process of dying off. Another breed lost to the world. Very sad. So much so, mankind are trying to find an alternative to save the ones that are left. Now, you will see lots of adverts on the news, on the TV, on YouTube, everywhere, about cutting down on meat consumption. I was always one that used to say, the animal has died and I enjoy meat. But do you know what? I thought long and hard and thought, I know, I'll just cut down and have maybe only 2 meals a week which have heavy meat consumption. And I started to eat some of the products that have now been put onto the supermarket shelves and are very easily affordable and also available, and the quantity and the selection is amazing. I now find that I enjoy those foods a lot more, and so also has health benefits. For somebody like myself who suffers with ill health, I find now by eating a lot more plant-based foods, I am feeling a lot better in myself. I don't suffer with the stomach ailment as much as I did. Now you could say this is all in the mind, but no, I feel better. So if I'm out and there isn't anything available in the restaurant, I will eat meat. But if I'm in a restaurant that does do it, I will give it a look and try it, for you never know, you might actually enjoy it. At home, of course, you can eat what you buy. Now, I have the added problem that I have a family around me that are meat eaters. So whatever I do, I still have to buy meat. I still have to prepare it and cook it. This is not a problem, but obviously people would say, well, isn't that an added expense? Well, not really, because you have to buy wisely, and there are things that they can be eating that is part of it that you can eat too. And it's just one thing that you can change. There are other ways you can change, like taking a material bag to the shops to put your things in, like from the supermarket, instead of plastic, and watching how much you use electrical. You know, is there a way you can not use your tumble dryers so much? Is there a way that you can do less washing in the washing machine? I know people are going to say, why would you want to do that? What we do now, guys, stops a terrible catastrophe happening. It stops or slows down what's happening. So I wanted to pledge myself as someone who is going to do their best. Nobody is saying that you have to give up meat, but to lighten how much you're eating of it. Nobody says you shouldn't use electric, but lessen the wastage. When it comes to buying items, do you really need to buy a plastic bag every time you go in the shop? No. Where do they go? To the landfills, to the oceans. Plastic takes years to start to break down. It is not a nice substance. Whereas there are many biodegradable things, even when it comes to our loved ones dying. There are the biodegradable coffins. There are, and I saw this the other day and I thought it was an amazing idea, and that was humans becoming compost. People say, oh, that is disgusting, but think about it, guys. What happens? We get put in the earth anyway. We get burnt and got rid of anyway. So why not make use of us and not take up plots in land that we could use for other things? We use compost from other animals. Why not humans? It is a new way of looking at it. And these are the things that we need to look at if we're going to save this beautiful world that we live in. I'm not going to harp on today. I'm not going to keep going on. I just wanted to make a point, and I don't know whether I've done the right thing in this, and I know I'm still holding my candle, guys, but I wanted to hold it because I want you to see one of the elements of earth, the beauty of fire, the beauty of the sun. We have water, the beauty of water that sustains life, which is now being disrupted. We're losing the polar caps, we're losing the ice, and that will have a profound effect. It's not just about climate change, it's about countries disappearing under water again. It's about, well, there's so many things that it would mind boggle you as to the damage that this earth is now going through and will continue to go through if we do not step up and try to make a change. I hope people can try to see this from the point of view that I'm trying to put across. A, I'm a witch. B, I'm a caretaker. C, I love my world. D, I love animals. E, do I want my planet to die? No. F, what can we do to set an example as witches? There are other things we can do, guys. Even if we don't do any of that, we can sit down once a week on a Friday, on Freya's Day. When we give our offerings, we can sit in meditation and send energy to Mother Earth. To any project we've seen on the TV, we can get together in groups, we can set something up online that all witches at a set time sit down and send their energy to that project so that it will become fertile and react and start to change things. In the Second World War, Gerald Gardner and the Covens stood together in power, and they did a ritual that went on for days and days, and they were all banded together and they used every part of their energy to stop Hitler from coming into England, to stop him from coming across, and it worked. But many of those witches died of exhaustion. One particular was a very old lady in her 80s who stood firm with them and died through all the exertion that came from within her energy field. So she gave her life, and many others did, to use their power for the good of this country. So guys, as witches, we are not insipid. We have power, and we can band together and start to use our energy to change things. What does it mean to be a witch? We are those that can bend, we can change, we can put that intent out and see a conclusion from it. And I am asking you now, as witches, I give you the call to save the planet, to come together and use your energy and power to turn things round for the good of mankind and the good of us and the good of all the animals and the good of all the plants. We want to see trees flourishing again. We want to see the seas cleansed. We want to see the temperature starting to reduce. We want to see people happy, and that is here. We can get it out there. We are witches. We are powerful, and we are here for a job to do. We are caretakers of Mother Earth. Let's start doing something about it, guys. And for those that have been doing something about it, my hat's off to you. But I think we need to band together in groups. We need maybe to put something up on YouTube where all witches can come to once a week and send that energy in, and it would be marvellous to do something. If anybody is interested in banding up with me to do something like this, please put a comment below. I'd be really interested, because I think we could do something like that and it would make a big difference. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you to any new subscribers, I really appreciate it. Thank you for those that watched my first short that I put on the other day. I really do appreciate that too. To those that have come back, thank you so much. And to those that are always with me, my appreciation and my love and light goes to you too. Anyway, wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of the Land.